my name's Miranda and today I'm here to review episodes 3 and 4 of season 2 of a series of unfortunate events which are based on the Ersatz elevator, I think is how you say that word. And I have to say overall I think these two episodes were my least favorite of the season, and that's not to say that they're bad necessarily because I think this whole season was fantastic. I just think out of everything, you know, if you have to pick one that you're like, I don't love it as much as I love the other ones, that one would be it for me. I just think on one hand, like, it's super hard to adapt too. Like, I love the book. I think it is one of my favorites in the series, definitely, because I just love the feeling of like this high class, sophisticated, in and out, kind of taking that and really running with it to an extreme. I like that, you know, like they live at the top of a penthouse, they can't use elevators. But obviously that would be very hard to design set-wise, I feel like, and I think they did do a really good job with what they had. Like, I liked how they played with it in that you saw kind of like they would have like one room and then they would walk into the exact same room, but it would just be like their other parlor or like their big parlor or something like that. I think that was really funny because it helps show you just how frivolous this house is that it has that many rooms. But I think just it's something you can't get the scope of the same way you could reading, just because obviously like you'll never see as many rooms as there are. You'll never get that scope, whereas when you're reading it and you're picturing in your mind with, yeah, there's 68 rooms, like you can picture that a bit better than actually seeing it on a screen when they can only show you about 5 rooms at a time. I do have to say though, this is the episode that introduced us to Esme, and I freaking love her actress and her character. Like, obviously she's an awful person, but like they found literally the perfect actress for her. I cannot even get over how good she is. Not only in this episode, but in the episodes to come, which I'll talk about when I review those. She's just so perfect. She's exactly what I pictured. She has the perfect British, you know, little sophisticated accent that adds to it. And I think what's really, really impressive to me, and I think this is a testament to the actress herself and the writers, mostly the actress because they got a really good actress, in that when the kids were telling her about Olaf and about how they found their friends at the bottom of the elevator, I have read the book. I knew she was bad and working with Olaf, but I was like thinking maybe they're changing this because she just seemed so sincere and genuine in listening to them and trying to help them with their problem and being such like the person you would want to be a good guardian. Like, she was so nice and caring, and I was thinking to myself, like, is she not in on it yet? Is she in on it after? Because she was just so like good, and if they can play me like that, me who's read the books and knew it was coming, still being like, wait, maybe it's not, I think that is a huge testimony to the actress and how great she was at playing this. I also think part of it though was because, and this again could be more because the writers, things were happening and then like Esme was like derailing Olaf's plans, mostly when he was trying to get back to the penthouse and she wanted to stay at the restaurant. Like, I thought if she was sincerely working with him, like, why wouldn't she be in on it that, hey, we're trying to get back to the penthouse as quick as we can? So I think that did add on to it, but like she was just so nice. She was like, I am your guardian, like I want to help you with your problems, and I was just like, do you? Are you actually gonna be nice? And then no, she was not. One thing that was a big change in this too was the addition of Olivia and Jacques in this and trying to figure out where the Quagmires were and helping them. And I just have to say, like, especially as the season has gone on, VFD is just so incompetent as like society. I don't even know, like, part of me is starting to wonder if like that's the thing. I never thought of it when I read the books, but I'm like, are they just supposed to be not a good like secret society? Like, they just suck. Their people get killed and kidnapped and they're just not good at finding these kids and saving them and protecting them. Like, is that why they're all dying in mysterious fires and everything? Because they suck. Like, I almost feel like that's the only explanation, because it's like we're supposed to be like, oh, they're so cool and they're helping the Baudelaires, but like literally every single chance they get, they're not really helpful. So I almost feel like it has to be at this point that like they just are a bad society. Like, they just don't know how to do things, and they just happen to look cool and be able to talk cool and have cool codes and trick everyone into thinking they're so awesome and so great, but really they suck. Because I just feel like, why would you not go inside the penthouse and look more? Like, they were just looking in windows. I was like, obviously Quagmires aren't just gonna be like, hey guys, we're here. Like, no, people live in these apartments. So I was just like, frustrated on that aspect. And I get that that's part of the show, is nothing ever goes right. But it's kind of like, at that point, like, think a little. I also made a couple other changes just with things that I feel like made sense. They added in that extra restaurant, which I thought was really cool, and I loved seeing the salmonella restaurant. I think that was so funny, and they really ran with the theme of everything salmon, which I like. They played into that so much, and how Larry kept stalling and everything. I think it added into, it really encaptured that Lemony Snicket feel, you know, like you're gonna run with this idea that seems ridiculous and make it even more ridiculously hilarious. I also changed a couple things with, I like how Violet went and marked with chalk every room she had been in. I think that was a very good way to kind of show them how they're getting more subterfuge, I guess if you can say that's a word, and how they're using now their skills to be more secretive and to kind of be more spy-like and more VFD-like, except their plans actually work usually. I think this season really is about the siblings relying more on each other. Sunny was able to get up and then save Violet and Klaus by herself and kind of sneak around, which was really awesome. Her standoff with the hook-handed guy, one of my favorite highlights of this whole season. It was so funny, and I just think that's really, I guess, what this season is about, is that you're realizing the adults aren't going to save these kids, and I think that's what really this episode cemented for me, even though I've read the books, you know, is that now that we've been getting more kind of the storylines with Jacqueline and all that, I think I realize now that that's not going to add anything else. These kids are the ones that are smart and they're working, and you even saw them like with the Quagmires, how they were thinking things out and how they were talking, and I feel like they're really the ones that are going to save the day at the end of the day, you know, because they're the ones that are always there for each other and always have each other's back. It was also, I think you could argue, I mean, VFD is technically their guardian, but I think this is like their last like guardian that knew their parents, so I think it's kind of also like it has a sense of like ending at the end of this episode when Jerome decides not to go with them. I just really liked this episode. I liked how the in and out stuff worked. I think it was hysterical how things would be in 1 second, out, like the dark and the light. I said not my favorite of the season, but still really good. I think it's just, I wanted more of the kids themselves and less of kind of the Olivia and Jacques story, because as much as I do like that, I feel like at the end of the day they never really get anywhere with it, and that's the frustrating part. If you have seen the Ersatz elevator, please feel free to leave your thoughts about those episodes down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below to make all sorts of new videos, and I will see you guys for the next review of the Vile Village. Bye!